everybody, I'm Mona and this is Skindipity. This is a brand new channel geared towards the mature beauty community. So today's going to be the first day in my new studio, which is still a work in progress, but I'm very excited. It's going to be a little bit of a chatty get ready with me. So I had something that I thought that I wasn't going to share, and then I decided that maybe if I shared it, it would help some other people. So it's talking about skin cancer, the quest that we'll go to for beauty, and fillers. So a while back, I had a skin cancer on this cheek right here. And I had it removed, and it was probably the fourth one that I've had removed so far, but the rest of them had been smaller and had been out of the basic view. You know, they could be hid by my hair or whatever. This one, unless, you know, I'm swinging my hair like this, which you actually probably saw me do in some of my other videos, due to self-consciousness, I could not really hide. So the skin cancer had come back there, so I had to have another procedure and a little more burning, digging out, and the concavity got a little bit worse. So I'll show you when I go back and edit this video. I'll put in some shots to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So it made kind of a concavity, and it also created a shadow. So which would always look like a bruise or a sunken part of my face. So I had another episode just recently, and the dermatologist mentioned that she could probably fix it with some filler, just localized filler in that spot. So that's something else I'm gonna have to go back and edit on my disclaimer, is that I no longer can say that I have not had filler. So she put some filler to fill up that concave mark. And so right now, I don't know if you can see, but I have a swollen face, I have bruising, and it's not smooth with my skin. So when she filled in that skin cancer crevice, there was no way to really, like, it's not like Bondo in a wall or a hole in your wall where you can sand it and you can paint it. So she just did the best that she could, right? She figured even if it wasn't completely smooth, it would still be better than the way it looked before, especially since it was bothering me. I think it bothered me more than it bothered other people. So I wanted to say that before I started getting ready. I'm gonna start getting ready now. Today, since I have a lot to cover, I'm gonna use my Il Maquillage, because they say that that has quite a bit of coverage, and that is sort of what I found on my wear test, that you could definitely build it up to full coverage. Well, first I'm gonna put my primer on. I'm gonna be, if I forget a step, I'll go back and put it in the comments after. So I'm gonna use my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. I think that is necessary for today. So I went and I had, I guess about a cc of filler put in that space, which is kind of a lot. So I was a little disappointed. Of course, it's still got to settle. I was a little disappointed that it didn't completely, I guess, get rid of that look of imperfection. And I have a lot of imperfections. I have very textured skin, acne scars, the whole gamut. So I'm really not sure why I'm so concerned about, you know, that particular spot, but I have been. It's not like I'm flawless otherwise. So she did. She had a little bit of extra filler at the end of the syringe, so she asked me if I wanted. So she asked me if I wanted her to fill in a little bit of this nasolabial fold right here on the side, because that was affected by the skin cancer also. It was really much harsher than the other side. So I said, okay, you know, don't waste the syringe, just go ahead and put it in. So then it looks like my lips had a reaction, my top lip, not my bottom lip, and this. So everything is swollen. I mean, it wasn't painful to do. It's not painful now. It's just, you know, how it feels when something is really swollen. And it really looks odd. I guess it looks like a bee-stung lip. I wish I could actually keep the lips and have everything else settle into place, but unfortunately, this may be the biggest that you ever see my lips. They're gonna go back down in a couple of days. So all I really want to say about that is that it's really important to protect yourself against skin cancer. I think all the other skin cancers, you know, they get, not skin cancer, sorry, all the other cancers, they get a lot of attention. But skin cancer gets some, but not so much. I think more these days than they did in the past. I'm just gonna go in with the El Maquillage. And so, we can't forget about that because, you know, breast cancer is deadly. My mom is a breast cancer survivor of 1 year. You know, we worry whether or not that's gonna come back or if it's not. My dad passed away from pancreatic cancer 3 years ago. Cancer is definitely, other cancers are definitely deadly. But I know someone who was just in her 30s and she died of melanoma. My grandmother had melanoma. She had the tip of her nose removed and rebuilt with her forehead. And if I'm worried about this, you should have seen that. My dad had part of his lip removed from basal cell carcinoma. And I have that same fair skin. So, I think that it deserves a little more attention than what it gets. And what is the best sunscreen? The best sunscreen is one that you're gonna wear every day. Every day. I'm not a big outdoor fan. I didn't get many sunburns. I got a few sunburns as a kid, but I wasn't really a sun worshiper. Never worked outside. So, I'm just gonna check this with the close-up mirror. So there's really not, I wouldn't have thought I was a high candidate for it, except for everyday exposure. And I always had makeup on. And as soon as I was old enough to realize what was happening to my grandmother and my dad, I did start wearing sunscreen, so probably earlier than a lot of people do. Just gonna try to build up a little bit right here, where it's all bruised and lumpy. So I know that none of you want to go through anything like this if you don't have to. And this is probably not going to be my last go round with it. You know, I get annual skin screenings where they actually, you know, check my body for unusual spots, skin moles, that kind of thing. And I'm, you know, being familiar with it, I'm always on the lookout and reporting anything that's different myself. So I think that hopefully you'll take a little bit of this message and you will consider stepping up your game as far as skin coverage. And it's not just you know, when you're outside on a sunny day. It's when you're inside and there's rays coming in your blinds if you have windows open. It is every time you just go out to get mail, every time you're riding in your car. I'm covering up with some of that NYX just to conceal my under eyes. The blue under eyes. So it's all of that, and it's not forgetting this area when you have V-neck shirts on or scoop neck shirts. It's also, you know, the little bit of skin that shows. You'll notice probably in some of my videos that season brown, you're not going to see me in sleeveless shirts. I normally wear 3/4 shirts to lightweight, full, you know, long sleeve shirts year round. And I'll wear sun protective clothing when I go out. When you see me at the beach, hopefully you never see me at the beach actually. It's not a good sight at my age, but if you see me at, you know, someone sees me at the beach, what I'm going to be in at the beach is I'm going to have, I have actually some sun protective bathing suits. I'm going to have to look and see who they're made by and maybe put them up on the video for you to see, link it up there. It's got SPF in it, and it's actually the cutest little capri, thin, you know, bathing suit material that doesn't hold water, and it rinses right out. But it's 3/4 length sleeve, light, protects me from the sun. It's a cute little leggings, capri bathing suit leggings, and then it's got the little skirt built into it. So it's not unstylish. I mean, it's not showing off your body, but at this point, you know, I'm more interested in saving myself from a deadly skin cancer, or a skin cancer that requires, you know, major surgery. Okay, so now I have my foundation. I am going to touch up with a little bit of concealer today. I'm going to use the Creaseless Concealer by Tarte, because this is a heavier duty concealer, and today I'm going in for a more heavy coverage than what I usually do. So I'm going to dot some of this on, because I like to melt it because it's so thick against my skin. And I'm going to go in where I need it the most. This is probably not going to be possible to cover all of it for a couple of days. So if any one of you have had a battle with skin cancer, or know someone who has, I'd be interested in hearing how serious you all take it now, and if any of you have had, you know, your face appearance change due to it. I think that's when you really start getting serious about it, is when, especially being a woman. But you know, my dad wasn't a vain man by any means. He was a blue collar worker. He worked outside. He had this fair skin. He wasn't all about looking a certain kind of gorgeous, right? And he was very, I would say, affected by the fact that he had to have a large chunk of his chin taken off because of cancer, and he was self-conscious about it. Okay, so now that I have concealed, I am going to go in before I set everything, and I am going to use this new Hourglass blush palette. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it is gorgeous. I did not get the big one with the bronzers. I settled for this one. These colors are just beautiful. So I'm going to go in, and I am going to use this one. But you can swirl them all together. These are really pigmented, which a lot of my blushes have not been. So I'm really enjoying this. And I'm just getting used to my new lighting, so I'm probably gonna have to leave the camera for a minute and go check it in an actual place to see how good or bad I did, as I get adjusted to how I need these lights to be. Okay. So it's not gonna cover all of this right now, and I don't know how long it's gonna stay raised or bumpy, but it's just one of those things I'm gonna have to deal with. Okay, so while I have lips, before they go away, I am really gonna enjoy my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, which is, of course, a cult favorite, but it's also one of my favorites. It goes very well with my complexion and my skin tone. I've never lined my lips this size. And I'm joking about how big my lips are. Other people's lips are naturally bigger than this. I need some kind of reaction to have this. But I can tell you, if everything else went back to normal in this state, I wouldn't mind. But unfortunately, by tomorrow, they'll probably be back to normal. bet women who have naturally big lips or get their lips plumped, I bet they really enjoy their lipstick products a whole bunch more than I do. I'm sure everybody has seen Pillow Talk Swatch before, but isn't it such a beautiful color? Many of you young people won't probably remember the commercial, but I'm sitting here looking at my lips and I feel like that commercial, there was some commercial about lipsticks years ago, maybe in the 80s or 90s, where it was "Here Comes Julie's Lips." I feel like it's "Here Comes Mona's Lips," but I kind of like it. So for today, I may put this lipstick on over and over and over again. Okay, so something else that I kind of wanted to play with today, I wanted to show you guys this little blush palette. I think it's really pretty. And for my spray today, for my setting spray, I am going to go in with the Kula. Kula has this, and I've showed it before. This is a makeup setting spray, but it also has an SPF of 30. You can hear the little ball to tell that you're mixing it in and getting that SPF distributed throughout the mist. Give it a good shake. And it does have a slight SPF fragrance, but it is really, really mild, and it's a soft spray. So it makes me sneeze. Not usually, but today. So that is a very good product that I would definitely endorse and highly recommend. All right, let's play with some eyeshadows if you guys have a little time to stick around. This is the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. This is definitely out of my comfort zone. But you know, the older I get, the more I realize that I spent the first part of my life living very conservatively, living very quiet life, raising my children. This is part two. This is my time. And I am not going to go by any age rules of you can't wear that if you're this age, or you shouldn't wear that, or that's, you know, that's for young people. As far as I'm concerned, I was too busy raising kids and working so many hours to make a living when I was younger that I skipped those years in a sense. And now I'm going to find them again. And before I leave this earth, if God's plans are the same and it doesn't happen tomorrow or the next day, I am going to put a lot of living in the second half. And that may just include a lot of color. Look at this palette. Isn't this exciting? Isn't this beautiful? Oh my gosh. So people have complained about this palette and said that a lot of the colors look the same when they're swatched. I can see how they would say that. However, I disagree with that being a problem for this palette. Let me tell you why. The reason is the shades may be similar, they may be in the same color family, but they are not the same. And sometimes that is really a plus when you're trying to get a look. Okay, for instance, with this look, if you wanted to use the teals and the greens that some people have said are almost the same, you could get a good monochromatic look with different dimension and depth. So, and the same thing with the golds that are similar and the olivey greens that are similar. They're not the same, they're similar. Similar does not equal the same. I can't, I guess, say that strong enough, because I think that could be an advantage of this palette, that you can make looks that are in the same color family, which is on trend, but yet have the dimension due to the differences that really bring that eye look to life. Now, I'm not a makeup artist. I am just your regular, everyday woman trying to catch up on life and trying to make the second half of her life the best half. And so what you're not going to get from me right now is real skilled makeup looks, but you're going to get fun looks. You're going to see a woman trying to live her best life now. And I'm encouraging all of you to come on board. Things happen. Skin cancer happens. We get flawed. We're going to have wrinkles. We're going to have things, but we can still be the best version of ourselves no matter what is happening to us. So With that being said, maybe I could do a little bit of the browns were also something that they said were a little bit of the same, but I'm gonna do, they have a pretty rose gold. I guess I should swatch them, but all of you have probably seen swatches by now. I'm gonna swatch the colors that they say are the same. Look at that. Similar, but not the same. These are different colors in the same family. And they all have different nuances and catch different light. And they can make a beautiful, beautiful look. And you add in a pop of something different like that. Or like this. Anyway, I think there's no limits to what you can do with a palette like this. So today, since I didn't really plan, I was all caught up in what's going on over here. I didn't plan. I'm going to just do an attempt at a fun look. So I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills primer for my eyes. So one thing I'm going to have to set up in here is a mirror, like a big standing mirror. But I was just so excited that it's coming along. My son started fixing it up for me. I didn't want to not use it today. But we still have some finessing to do in here. Okay. So now let's play with some color. If all of you aren't gone by now. So for my transition color, I am going to use the color Rope. Hardly an exciting color. But a good one to have in any palette. For the sake of time, I'm just going to do one eye on camera. So I'm going to go in with the color Rust. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pack Rust all over my lid, and then I am just going to etch it out with one of those wild greens. So that'll be bold for me. Maybe not bold for all of you. Bring it up into the crease. A little fallout there. I must have put too much on the brush. Okay. Then I'm going to take and spray my brush. I'm going to use just a little liner brush. And I'm going to go in with the color Jubilee. No, Symbol. This one right here. Looks almost black, probably on the screen. I'm going to line the top of my eye with this. Started off with really just barely any pigment because I didn't know how I was going to do. And I'm going to line out the bottom with it as well. I'm going to build out the corner a little bit. You guys see that? I don't think that looks too wild for an old lady. Let's add a little bit of mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the finished look. Of course, I'll have to go get all those swatches off my forehead. So one good thing about bangs though, you can swatch, nothing shows. So what do you guys think? Pretty palette, huh? Am I too old for that pop of color? I think I might up my game on the next video with some even more color. That is a palette that has endless possibilities. Well, thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. This has become very important to my life. It's a very new chapter of Mona trying to find herself, and I know that there are other women like me out there who are trying to find themselves in the second half of their life. And so I might not be the makeup artist of the century, that would be an understatement, but I am an everyday woman who is aging like many of us out there, going through the same battles and experiences, and I think we have a lot to share, and supporting each other is important as we go through this journey so that we can make this second half our best half. And I hope that you will subscribe, that you will give it a thumbs up, most of all that you will interact with me in the comments, and that you will come back. And maybe you know some other ladies who would enjoy this content as well. Now that I have my new studio, I will be getting better with this, have my setup better, and be working on some really great content that's more concise and maybe less babbly, but I'm a babbler, so maybe I need to just put timing points in the video. Okay, so if you are one of the ones who stayed to the end, I want you to put in the comments, stayed to the end. And then I will contact you because there will be a giveaway from this video. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.